Hi everybody, welcome back to Savii Sit Down. This is episode 3 and I have my lovely friend here, Habiba Maher. And today we're just going to be talking about Habiba and herself. And let's just get right into it. Habiba, for people who don't know you, who are you?
Hello, thank you for having me here today. My name is Habiba Maher, I'm 17. I quite, do a lot of everything. I play golf, that's primarily. And I'm also the CEO of a company called Hasib, which was founded in the Injaz company program.
Golf.
Yes.
Golf.
Yes.
How did you get into golf? That's my question actually.
Well, you see, when I was younger, I kind of tried every sport there was. I tried a little of basketball, a little of soccer, and I suddenly tried golf. And I just fell in love with the game ever since.
How did you get to golf out of all the sports in the world? Okay. What made you choose golf?
So let me tell you a story, okay? It was summer and I was like nine years old. Mm-hmm. And me and my dad were kind of doing just plans for the summer and seeing what we're gonna do. Given that, it's too hot to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So we kind of wanted to do a little of everything. And he was like, oh, the golf course opened up a couple of years ago. Do you want to go try it out? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Mm-hmm. And who knew that day was gonna open many doors for me and open a whole new world to my eyes.
I mean, golf for me, it's like a stick and you hit the ball. I'm pretty sure it's not that, is it? Mm-hmm. It's a whole different level of complex stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people get shocked when you say, oh yeah, I played golf.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
Well, first of all, they ask me how old are you? Because golf is usually associated with older people.
Yeah, especially men as well.
Yeah, especially men. Especially in Bahrain, but before me there were no female golf players.
So you're the first female golfer in Bahrain?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you start golf?
Okay, so I tried it out when I was 9, but I started, playing with the national team when I was 11. But I didn't really take it that seriously until I was 14, 15.
Wow, so you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
Have you won any championships, traveled abroad?
Yeah, we played a bunch of GCC tournaments. Came third in a bunch of them, fourth in a bunch of them. It's quite difficult to compete with other people who have been playing since they were younger than me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I understand, but wow, that's insane.
Thank you.
Wow. With golf, what do you think is the most important lesson you've learned? I play football and there's a lot of lessons you can learn from sports,
Mm.
So what is that for you? What is that lesson that you've learned from golf?
Well, two things. Patience and anger management.
Why anger management?
Well, you see, like you said, golf may be one of the most complex sports that doesn't really look complex, but it is. And patience, because you need a lot of patience with it. You need to learn the skills slowly. You need to fall in love with the game to actually, progress with it. Mm-hmm. And anger management, because who is a golf player who isn't going to admit that they've lost their ball in the water multiple times or lost their ball outside. So it kind of teaches you how to manage your temper and how to, keep your cool and be patient and all that.
Being the first female Bahraini golfer, how does that feel like?
It's a lot of responsibility because, at some point you're okay, I'm going to have to leave this behind. Who am I going to leave this to? Mm-hmm. What am I leaving? All that. And it just keeps a lot of weight on your shoulders because it kind of pushes you to do the best to build the foundation for the women to come.
Especially because you're so young as well.
Yeah.
Are you the youngest on the team or are there older?
I used to be, but recently we have the juniors team. It consists of 12 and 11-year-old girls. And I'm just really happy to not be the youngest in the team because it just shows that the sport has a future here. Women in golf have a future in Bahrain. So
I think recently sports for women in Bahrain have been growing so much. I know that women's football has been increasing massively, and it's just so good to see. It's so great to see that it's finally increasing after all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to your business.
Yes.
CEO. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so basically Hasib was a company that we started in the Injaz Company program. Now, as you may know or have heard, the Injaz Company program is a program that is taken at the 11th grade in high school, held or organized by the organization Injaz, Bahrain. So basically what you do is you and your friends form a company on an idea that isn't available in the market, tackling an important global issue or societal issue or whatever, and you basically sell it, you market it, you finance it, you do all that, and then you compete at a national level against other teams in Bahrain, other schools in Bahrain, and then if you win, you compete at a regional level against other countries in the Arab world, and if you win, you compete against other continents. And it's just
other continents?
Yeah.
So that goes internationally, basically?
Yeah.
That's insane. What did your company do?
Okay, so my company, or our company I like to say, it's called Hasib. Now, you may have heard that there are a lot of cycling accidents here in Bahrain.
That's true, yeah.
Like recently, especially with COVID-19 and lockdown and then everyone going outside to perform sports and all that, there were a lot of deaths as well.
Yeah, you can see on the news.
Yeah, so we noticed that and we saw that, okay, this is a problem. We need to fix it. How? Hasib was a solution. So it's basically a device that you put under the seat of your bike, and it detects your surroundings to tell you if there's anything that you are not paying attention to.
Oh, so is it connects to your phone? Does it connect to your phone?
Not yet.
How does it work?
So practically, okay, it senses the thing, and then it gives you like a sound.
Okay.
Like it beeps, and then like there's a little screen on the cycling handle. It tells you how far away it is and which direction.
That's very creative.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that. So how did you build this product? What was the starting? The idea was just to prevent deaths from happening. But how did you actually build it? With your team.
Okay, so that was the most difficult part because as you know, with inventions or crazy ideas, you don't really find it on the market. You can't just find it and take it and rip it apart and put it up in your own way. So we had to find creative solutions. Also given that we started last year where lockdown was the worst.
Lockdown was really bad last year.
Yeah, and we couldn't order things online because everything would be delayed and all that. So we looked into 3D printing. Yeah, and that was a game changer.
So 3D printing was an entire game changer.
Yeah.
So how did you build it? You use 3D printing. Did you guys make it up yourselves? You just did a lot of trial and error, like a science experiment?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How many tries did it take you to actually come up with a product?
Oh my god, it took us 3 tries, I'd say 3 prototypes until we finally got it right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of impressive. Only 3 prototypes? That's really impressive. God. Oh my god. I remember you telling me as well. You were a part of the Google Hackathon.
Yeah.
And that probably must have paid a big contribution to this as well.
It did.
Tell us about that and your computer science. You're one of the most smartest people I know with computer science, guys. She's so smart. I can't stress this enough.
Thank you.
Please tell me.
Thank you.
Please tell us, actually. Tell us.
Okay, so practically with the whole hackathon things that I've joined and the programs and all that.
Yeah.
I joined these all in 2019 and they were all, they kind of bloomed from my love for computer science.
Wait, guys. So Habiba is a golfer. She's also CEO of a company, and she's a massive computer scientist geek, and it's insane. Okay, continue. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so basically, as you know, with Hasib, there was a lot of technicalities and programming involved, and sensors and all that. And I think that my experience in the Google Hackathons and the Google seminars and all that really helped me to contribute to the company with the full potential or the most potential I could, because I didn't want to be the person that just held the idea. I wanted to help them create it. And that's kind of like what we do in the company. We do everything together. So
Yeah, so like you wanted to be a part of the project itself and
Yes.
actually help out.
yes.
Going back to computer science, why computer science? Because I myself struggled with computer science, and I'm just like, when I see code, I'm just like, yeah, no, we're gonna go to the different subject, not today. So why computer science?
Okay, so there are usually two sides of the story. The first side is that rather, when I was younger, I fell in love with robotics. Putting things together and seeing it work, and then, kind of like programming it to move a step, and then it does. The whole, trial and then seeing it
Yeah.
kind of like made me fall in love with it. Kind of made me want to do more with it. And, program and all that. So at that level, robotics, I took it to the next level with even more skilled robotics program called EDR. It's difficult, but it comes with actual like metal and steel and all that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and you have to program it using Java and using Python or C++. So you had to learn. You had to understand.
No thanks. When you said Java, I was just like, no.
No. Yeah. So you had to learn to compete, because if you didn't know how to code, you couldn't do the basic drag and drop that you did with the other robotics. Yeah.
What I remember from like high school and BSB, it was just like going to Scratch and just dropping blocks.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember. And when I see Java and all those other different programming languages, I'm just like, how do you actually do it? It's like so complicated as well. And like you're 17, you started this. How old were you when you started programming?
12.
12. Start programming when she was 12. I still can't program.
That's okay.
But like that's really impressive, and it's really admirable that you love programming and you found like a passion for it as well.
Yeah.
I remember you went to a cool summit and you gave a speech
Yes.
to the summit and everyone there.
Yeah.
How did that feel like? Tell us about it actually first.
Okay, so the whole reason I ended up at that summit was because I competed at a Google Hackathon where I was a finalist and I was the youngest participant in the entire thing.
How old were you?
I was 15. Yeah.
50 now. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So because of that, it kind of like gave me opportunities with other Google related, seminars and all that. And I was invited to the, what was it called? The MENA community kind of like convention or conference. I forgot exactly what it was.
Okay, it's alright.
But yeah, I was invited to that, and it was in Dubai. And basically what they did was they brought all the, the VPs, the Google VPs of like marketing, production, finance, and they just presented their plans for the MENA for the next year. And all these plans I kind of see right now, it's just, reminiscing on that. But yeah, so we were invited there to kind of like see all that happening. And I was given the once in a lifetime opportunity to, talk in front of these amazing people and talk about specifically youth and technology. Now, the whole idea behind that was that the youth or our generation kind of struggled in terms of kind of like being unique or showing up in technology, because we're always diminished by the older generations. And this was something that I brought to their attention and let them know that, hey, we're here, acknowledge us, understand us. And yeah, I think it did make a difference, because after that I saw lots of Google programs targeted for younger individuals. And to understand or to see that you've made a change, even though it says a needle in a big board, it still makes a difference.
How did you feel when you're up on that stage in front of all those people?
Honestly, people would say that, okay, they feel terrified or whatever, like anxiety and all that. But I just felt at home. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt like I was meant for it in some way.
It felt so right to be there. And just talking to people about our generation and technology and how our voice should be heard as well. And like, I think that's incredible, talking to all those important people.
Exactly.
And just telling them what you think. It's like you're speaking for us as a voice, which is incredible and insane and like, wow.
Thank you so much.
It's absolutely wow.
Thank you.
Regarding Google Hackathons, how many have you been to? I'm curious.
Okay, so I've been to one where I was a participant, and two where I was a speaker at.
So like until 4.
Yeah.
So you got 4 guys.
Yeah.
That's, for me, that's like when everyone's like small, you know?
Oh yeah.
But with Google Hackathons, what do you actually do? Do you like hack into things?
No.
Because like that's what, when you say hackathon, that's what I think. So tell us about what do you actually do in a hackathon?
Okay, so I'll explain to you what a hackathon is.
Mhm.
So a hackathon is when you go, like let's say for example, the duration is 24 hours. Okay? You have to go through 24 hours of no sleep and getting a project done. Or let's say for example,
4 hours.
yeah.
So you don't sleep for 24 hours?
The one in Tunisia was worse. It was 48 hours and then another 48 hours. Yeah.
So wait, you're just like programming and coding
Yeah.
for like 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
Do your eyes not hurt when you stare at the screen for too long?
Honestly, I did get sleep, so I'm fine.
Okay,
I
that's
can't
good.
understand.
At least you got sleep.
Yeah.
Because if I were staring at the screen for 24 hours, I think I would pass out on my
It
computer.
was very
But that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you program things? Like, what do you program?
Okay, so they give you a problem and they tell you solve it.
Math?
No.
That's what is my mind.
Okay, so let's say for example in Tunisia,
Mm.
we had the problem of license plate identification.
Okay.
So we had to run a program, so they gave us like a bunch of pictures of license plates.
Mm.
They gave us a bunch of data,
Mm.
and we had to run a program that classifies them.
Mm.
And basically the person who writes the best program or the best solution to it, wins the subcategory or whatever.
That's really impressive. 'Cause I didn't know what a hackathon meant. I thought you meant like they give you like this like kind of security breach that you have to hack into, because like that's what hacking means to me. But that's actually really interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So you actually like they give you real life problems and you solve them.
Yeah.
How like that's insane.
Yeah.
So it gives you actually real life experience.
Yes, it does, and it kind of teaches you how to think on your feet. And
Mhm.
like, with now, how technology is nowadays, you don't really have much of a time or much of time to respond to a threat.
That's very true.
So it kind of teaches me that skill.
It teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one last question I have for you before we end the Savii sit down. As you know, Savii is like finance. We're teaching people,
Yeah.
teaching teens how to finance. Because a lot of us don't know. We aren't taught when we were younger.
You're right there.
And so, for you, how important is it to understand the concept of money and saving?
Well, before we start with that, I downloaded Savii when it was in its pre-phases.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the app, I love the concept behind it.
Mhm.
And I think that us as a younger generation, we have to understand how money works. And we have to understand how we save money, how we spend money, how we send money. Let's say, for example, we have a certain budget per month. How do we not bluff it in a week?
Yeah.
How do we make it last a month? Because we, as you said, we aren't learned these things. We don't learn these things at school.
Mm.
So where should we learn them?
Yeah.
Like any other person would be like, okay, I'm not being taught this at school. I don't need to know this.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the younger generation now don't understand what it means to actually have money and how to budget.
Exactly.
And it's so important to understand how to use it, especially for the future. And guys, thank you for joining us today at Savii Sit Down.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time.